We're only a few months into the year and it's official! 2023 will be the biggest year for blockchain gaming to date. With huge partnerships, groundbreaking announcements and a whole host of games set to release this year, whether you're a fan of FPS, a stickler for strategy, crazy for card games or anything in between, there's guaranteed to be a Web3 game arriving this year that appeals to you. So to find out our favourites so far, we scoured every corner of the blockchain space to discover the 10 Web3 games that we cannot wait to get our hands on this year. Welcome everybody, my name's Hydro from NFT Insider, and here are our picks for the top 10 most anticipated Web3 games of 2023. Before we dive into the list, make sure to subscribe to NFT Insider for all things Web3 gaming. We've just published our top 10 blockchain games of 2022, and we've got plenty more videos to come. So if you want to stay up to date with the hottest titles in Web3, hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Number 10. Avalon. Developed by Danu Games, Avalon is an open-world fantasy MMO that leans on blockchain technology to create a player-crafted world where every building, item, and resource has real value. Players select from a wide array of classes to embark on mighty quests, taking them from picturesque villages to ragged mountain peaks and much more, fighting mobs, collecting materials, and taking part in large-scale raids. Its third-person combat combines impactful base attacks with a range of abilities, with the best players able to progress all the way to commanding their own dragons. Utility buildings, such as stables, mills and blacksmiths, as well as in-game properties and even certain classes, come in the form of NFTs, which players can earn in-game and freely buy, sell and trade on secondary marketplaces. Some buildings will reward the owner with tokens when other players use them, making particular buildings in high-traffic locations hugely desirable assets. Early access to Avalon arrived in late 2022, with the game set to open up to many more players throughout 2023, and so if you're looking for a classic medieval fantasy MMO supercharged by Web3 tech, look no further than the world of Avalon. Number 9. Grit. Saddle up and grab your pistols! Published by Gala Games, Grit is a Wild West themed Battle Royale title on PC, and it was the first Web3 game to both be announced and to be playable on the Epic Games Store. Fans of Fortnite and PUBG will be familiar with the loot 'em and shoot 'em gameplay, with players grabbing their rifles, donning their cowboy hats and manning their horses to hunt each other down in the fight to become the last man standing. A few unique twists shake up the status quo though. Instead of the storm shrinking towards a static point on the map, what if it sometimes followed a passing train, or even a wild horse? This creates both action-fueled and hilarious results, making every round an absolute blast. The game has been in closed beta for the past few months, but is expected to hold its full release in late 2023. In the full release, your character and horse NFTs will grow and bond with each round completed, and you'll earn a healthy dose of tokens for your trouble. So if a blockchain-powered Wild West experience gets you a yeehawing, get yourself signed up for Grit. Number 8. The Harvest. Developed by Falco, which features staff from popular mobile hits such as Tennis Clash and Castle Crush, The Harvest is a third-person shooter that combines MOBA and Battle Royale elements for a highly anticipated fresh take on class-based combat. So much so that they took home top prize as Game's Choice at the 2022 Game 3 Awards. 4 teams of 3 players compete against each other to gather the essence of life, a powerful energy source that sparked an all-out war. With each match only lasting 10 minutes, The Harvest is easy to play but hard to master, and players must work together to gather the most essence, stifle their opponents, and secure victory. Players can customize their characters with NFT cards that can provide special abilities or add companions to your loadout, giving your team an extra boost. With skins, calling cards, and a range of tokens to boot, the game's economy requires its very own mastery to get the most out of the experience. The Harvest is currently in an early open beta and is expected to open up further as the year progresses, and so with a pick up and play approach, speedy 10-minute matches and seasonal rewards to boot, if teamwork makes your dream work, head on over to The Harvest. Number 7. Ember Sword. The brainchild of Brightstar Studios, Ember Sword is an upcoming open-world MMORPG with an idyllic art style and a game design that puts player choice at the heart of the experience. The game features a dynamic class system, which allows players to switch between different playstyles on the fly, switching between DPS, tank, healer, and more. This gives players the ability to craft their own unique playstyle and to experiment with a wide array of weapons and abilities to find what works best for you. If you prefer the lighter side to MMOs, Ember Sword has you covered with its truly player-driven economy, with resource gatherers, crafters of both NFT and non-NFT items, and master traders all playing a pivotal role in keeping the economy ticking. The game is currently in pre-alpha, with expectations to be opened up further later this year, so if you're hankering for a polished MMO with all the benefits that blockchain can provide, head to their website and pre-register for Ember Sword. Number 6. Illuvium. Developed by a renowned team of ex-Bioshock, The Last of Us and Tomb Raider talent, Illuvium is a mammoth gaming experience that combines an open-world RPG, a strategic auto-battler and a compelling city builder. Plus, it's run by a decentralized autonomous organization, the Illuvium DAO. Players are taken on a journey to a ruined planet where they discover magical beasts called Illuvials, NFT-based creatures which can be captured and trained to take part in challenging PvP battles or traded with other players. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the game's unique blend of open-world exploration and intense auto-battler combat has made it one of the jewels in Immutable's crown as of late, and a superb example of the very best the IMEX chain has to offer. Illuvium entered its private beta in late December 2022, and is scheduled for a full release later this year, so if you're looking to immerse yourself in a futuristic fantasy world of creatures, colonies and combat, Illuvium could be the game for you. Number 5. Guild of Guardians. Now developed by Mindloader, whose experience spans The Division, The Last of Us, Final Fantasy VII Remake and more, and published by Immutable, Guild of Guardians is an upcoming mobile action RPG that sees players assemble a team of orcs, elves, cutthroats and more to take on dungeons for loot and rewards. Blockchain tech is central to the Guild of Guardians experience. All in-game loot takes the form of NFTs, and in-game resources can be used to craft additional characters, skins and items, all of which can be freely traded between players on secondary marketplaces. The game has the backing of the World Esports Association, and with it, 8 esports heavyweights: Cloud9, Fnatic, Na'Vi, Ninjas in Pyjamas, NRG, SK Gaming, T1 and Team Liquid, each of which have 2 branded playable Guardians within the game. Early access is set to open up before the end of this year, and so with a dark and gloomy fantasy world to explore, dungeons to raid and mythical bosses to defeat, if you're a fan of RPGs or just looking for a quality mobile gaming experience, be sure to pre-register for Guild of Guardians. Number 4. Clementine's Nightmare. Developed by Big Red Button Entertainment, Clementine's Nightmare is an upcoming real-time auto-battler that combines the strategy of TCGs with the active abilities of RPGs. Set in a whimsical, macabre world with a Coraline-esque art style, the story revolves around Clementine, a young girl battling her inner demons in a journey across her subconscious. Gameplay sees players assemble a 3-character roster, requiring both strategic and active nows to come out on top, encouraging thinking similar to RTS titles such as StarCraft. Multiplayer matchups see the winner rewarded with Pixel, an in-game currency used to purchase additional cards and abilities, and which can also be converted into ink tokens, forming the core of the game's play-to-earn economy. With access expected to open up in 2023, 25,000 budding players in their Discord, and a team whose previous titles include Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric, and a wealth of underrated VR titles, if you're looking for a game that's pushing the boundaries of innovation, be sure to keep an eye on Clementine's Nightmare. Number 3. Edenbrawl. Coming from WorldSpark Studios, which features a bevy of ex-Riot, EA, Blizzard and Bungie developers, Edenbrawl is a unique take on the MOBA genre that combines fast-paced action, WASD movement and basketball? Players form teams of 5 to square it off on the battlefield by fighting over the all-important game ball. Smash your opponents into the dirt to steal the ball, pass it between your teammates as you head down the field, and dunk it in your opponent's goal to score. It's a fantastic combination of the MOBA gameplay you know and love with the frantic, action-packed, back-and-forth nature of ball sports. In Edenbrawl, in-game cosmetics take the form of NFTs, meaning that not only can players freely buy, sell and trade the skins that they earn, but there's also no pay-to-win mechanics to worry about, meaning that skill always comes out on top. The game recently announced that it will be coming to the Epic Games Store, with a release date set for May the 22nd, 2023, so if you think you have what it takes to dominate on the field, grab your friends, queue up and dive into Edenbrawl. Number 2. Shrapnel. Developed by a BAFTA and Emmy award-winning all-star team of ex-Halo, Call of Duty and Bioshock developers, Shrapnel is an upcoming extraction FPS, think Escape from Tarkov, that's expected to progress from its current pre-alpha stage later this year. Built in Unreal Engine 5, and with truly next-gen visuals and audio, Shrapnel is set in the year 2044, where meteors have ravaged the Earth, turning it into a post-apocalyptic nightmare. Players are dropped into acutely designed maps and compete to extract valuable meteor resources in high-stakes matchups, fighting to loot up, become the last player standing, and escape before the next meteor hits. When I say high stakes, I mean high stakes. Not only will players be fighting to extract valuable NFT loot, death may also see you lose your NFT gear and equipment too. The game was exhibited at GDC 2023 and saw rave reviews, with one commenter remarking that it felt like a true, traditional AAA quality game that could compete with the biggest shooters in the video game market. With its unique blend of strategy, skill, and high-stakes competition, Shrapnel is a game that every FPS fan should have on their radar. Honourable mention, World Wide Web. Whilst the game first became playable in November of 2021, World Wide Web is still in early access, and is going from strength to strength, having recently announced a $10 million seed round in February 2023. Created by a team led by artist, magician and developer Thomas Webb, World Wide Web is a browser-based top-down MMORPG with a 16-bit retro aesthetic. Players can use a range of avatars, including their NFTs from leading PFP collections, to take part in a variety of exciting minigames, such as Rug Busters, a roguelike reverse bullet hell experience that's one of the most popular minigames available within the game. With weekly leaderboards and a range of prizes, World Wide Web's minigames, social elements and crafting features offer something for everyone, whether you've got 5 minutes to spare or a whole weekend to enjoy. Blockbusters, a 5v5 competitive PvP experience with a compete to mint reward structure, is set to be the next minigame in the pipeline, bringing a whole new level of competition to this fledgling browser MMO. So if you want to get to grips with this immersive virtual world before it drops, be sure to dive in to the World Wide Web. Number 1. MetalCore. Winner of Best Shooter Game at the 2022 Game 3 Awards, MetalCore is an open-world MMOFPS title that sees players compete in faction-based, full-scale warfare across massive battlefields. Think a blockchain-enhanced version of the hugely popular MMOFPS series PlanetSide. With Activision, Disney and Midway veterans on staff, MetalCore aims to become Web3's premier FPS experience. Players will battle for control of land in perpetually alive multiplayer environments, as well as craft, trade gear, and man a variety of impressive mechs in the fight for planetary domination. Intense PvP battles will see hundreds of players fighting for the same objectives, with aircraft, land vehicles, and foot soldiers all contributing to the carnage. Those who control key objectives and the largest share of land will be rewarded with a variety of machines, mechs, gear, and more, all of which players will be able to buy, sell, and trade as they see fit. If you've never played an MMO FPS title before, there's nothing else quite like it. Hundreds of teammates either side of you, facing off against armies of opponents in large-scale, epic, all-out wars. It's like Battlefield on steroids. With the game set to widen access to players from around the world later this year, there's no doubt in our minds that MetalCore is the Web3 game we're most excited to get our hands on in 2023. And there we have it, our picks for the top 10 most anticipated Web3 games of 2023. Did we miss your favourites? Let us know down in the comments what your favourite upcoming Web3 game is, and be sure to hit like, subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.